Hello dear friend, and welcome to On This Day SMR with me, Edward Hertz, where we take a look back through history at events which took place on this day. The rain is gently pittering and pattering away on the window, and the fire is crackling away nicely in the hearth. So put your headphones on, sit back, relax, and let me take you on a journey back through time. Today is Wednesday the 17th of January 2024, and we have 58 events to cover today, going all the way back to 39 BC. Starting with the most recent event, which happened last year in 2023, an avalanche strikes Nyingchi, Tibet, killing 28 people. 7 years ago in 2017, the search for Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 is announced to be suspended. 8 years ago in 2016, President Barack Obama announces the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. 11 years ago in 2013, former cyclist Lance Armstrong confesses to his doping in an airing of Oprah's Next Chapter. In the same year, Shazad Luqman is murdered by members of Golden Dawn in Petrolona, Athens, leading the creation of new measures to combat race-based attacks in Greece. 14 years ago in 2010, rioting begins between Muslim and Christian groups in Jos, Nigeria, results in at least 200 deaths. 14 years ago in 2010, rioting begins between Muslim and Christian groups in Jos, Nigeria, results in at least 200 deaths. "16 years ago in 2008, British Airways Flight 38 crashes short of the runway at Heathrow Airport, injuring 47. 17 years ago in 2007, the Doomsday Clock is set to 5 minutes to midnight in response to North Korea's nuclear testing. 22 years ago in 2002, Mount Nyiragongo erupts in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, displacing an estimated 400,000 people. 26 years ago in 1998, in the Clinton-Lewinsky scandal, Matt Drudge breaks the story of the Bill Clinton-Monica Lewinsky affair on his Drudge Report website. 27 years ago in 1997, in Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, a Delta II carrying a GPS IIR-1 satellite explodes 13 seconds after launch, dropping 250 tons of burning rocket remains around the launch pad. 28 years ago in 1996, the Czech Republic applies for membership in the European Union. 29 years ago in 1995, the 6.9 magnitude Great Hanshin earthquake shakes the southern Hyogo prefecture with a maximum shindo of 7, leaving 5,502 to 6,434 people dead and 251,301 to 310,000 displaced. 30 years ago in 1994, the 6.7 magnitude Northridge earthquake shakes the greater Los Angeles area with a maximum Mercalli intensity of 9, leaving 57 people dead and more than 8,700 injured. 32 years ago in 1992, during a visit to South Korea, Japanese Prime Minister Kiichi Miyazawa apologizes for forcing Korean women into sexual slavery during World War II. "33 years ago in 1991 in the Gulf War, Operation Desert Storm begins early in the morning as aircraft strike positions across Iraq. It is also the first major combat sortie for the F-117. LCDR Scott Speicher's FA-18C Hornet from VFA-81 is shot down by a MiG-25 and is the first American casualty of the war. Iraq fires 8 Scud missiles into Israel in an unsuccessful bid to provoke Israeli retaliation. In the same year, Crown Prince Harald of Norway becomes King Harald V, following the death of his father, King Olav V. "43 years ago in 1981, President of the Philippines, Ferdinand Marcos, lifts martial law 8 years and 5 months after declaring it. "47 years ago in 1977, capital punishment in the United States resumes after a 10-year hiatus as convicted murderer Gary Gilmore is executed by firing squad in Utah. 55 years ago in 1969, Black Panther Party members Bunchy Carter and John Huggins are killed during a meeting in Campbell Hall on the campus of UCLA. "58 years ago in 1966, in the Palomares incident, a B-52 bomber collides with a KC-135 Stratotanker over Spain, killing 7 airmen and dropping 3 70-kiloton nuclear bombs near the town of Palomares and another one into the sea. "63 years ago in 1961, US President Dwight D. Eisenhower delivers a televised farewell address to the nation 3 days before leaving office, in which he warns against the accumulation of power by the military-industrial complex, as well as the dangers of massive spending, especially deficit spending. In the same year, former Congolese Prime Minister Patrice Lumumba is murdered in circumstances suggesting the support and complicity of the governments of Belgium and the United States. 74 years ago in 1950, the Great Brinks Robbery. 11 thieves steal more than $2 million from an armoured car company's offices in Boston. In the same year, the United Nations Security Council Resolution 79 relating to arms control is adopted. "76 years ago in 1948, the Renville Agreement between the Netherlands and Indonesia is ratified. "78 years ago in 1946, the UN Security Council holds its first session. 79 years ago in 1945, in World War II, the Vistula Oder offensive forces German troops out of Warsaw. In the same year, the SS Totenkopfverbände begin the evacuation of the Auschwitz concentration camp as the Red Army closes in. Also in the same year, Swedish diplomat Raoul Wallenberg is taken into Soviet custody while in Hungary. He is never publicly seen again. 80 years ago in 1944, in World War II, Allied forces launched the first of 4 assaults on Monte Cassino with the intention of breaking through the winter line and seizing Rome, an effort that would ultimately take 4 months and cost 105,000 Allied casualties. "81 years ago in 1943, also in World War II, Greek submarine Papanikolaou captures a 200-ton sailing vessel Agios Stephanos and mans her with part of her crew. 83 years ago in 1941, in the Franco-Thai War, Vichy French forces inflict a decisive defeat over the Royal Thai Navy. 104 years ago in 1920, alcohol prohibition begins in the United States as the Volstead Act goes into effect. 106 years ago in 1918, in the Finnish Civil War, the first serious battles take place between the Red Guards and the White Guard. 107 years ago in 1917, the United States pays Denmark $25 million for the Virgin Islands. 109 years ago in 1915, Russia defeats Ottoman Turkey in the Battle of Sarikamish during the Caucasus campaign of World War I. 112 years ago in 1912, British polar explorer Captain Robert Falcon Scott reaches the South Pole 1 month after Roald Amundsen. 120 years ago in 1904, Anton Chekhov's The Cherry Orchard receives its premiere performance at the Moscow Art Theatre. 121 years ago in 1903, El Yunque National Forest in Puerto Rico becomes part of the United States National Forest System as the Luquillo Forest Reserve. 125 years ago in 1899, the United States takes possession of Wake Island in the Pacific Ocean. 131 years ago in 1893, Lorin A. Thurston, along with the Citizens Committee of Public Safety, led the overthrow of the Kingdom of Hawaii and the government of Queen Liliuokalani. 139 years ago in 1885, a British force defeats a large Dervish army at the Battle of Abu Klea in the Sudan. 151 years ago in 1873, a group of Modoc warriors defeats the United States Army in the First Battle of the Stronghold, part of the Modoc War. 172 years ago in 1852, the United Kingdom signs the Sand River Convention with the South African Republic. 213 years ago in 1811, in the Mexican War of Independence, in the Battle of Calderon Bridge, a heavily outnumbered Spanish force of 6,000 troops defeats nearly 100,000 Mexican revolutionaries. 225 years ago in 1799, Maltese patriot Dun Michiel Zeri, along with a number of other patriots, is executed. 243 years ago in 1781, in the American Revolutionary War, Battle of Cowpens, Continental troops under Brigadier General Daniel Morgan defeat British forces under Lieutenant Colonel Banastra Tarleton at the battle in South Carolina. "251 years ago in 1773, Captain James Cook leads the first expedition to sail south of the Antarctic Circle. 375 years ago in 1649, the Second Ormond Peace creates an alliance between the Irish Royalists and Confederates during the War of the Three Kingdoms. The coalition was then decisively defeated during the Cromwellian conquest of Ireland. 376 years ago in 1648, England's Long Parliament passes the Vote of No Addresses, breaking off negotiations with King Charles I and thereby setting the scene for the second phase of the English Civil War. 416 years ago in 1608, Emperor Susenyos I of Ethiopia surprises an Oromo army at Ebenat. His army reportedly kills 12,000 Oromo at the cost of 400 of his men. 429 years ago in 1595, during the French Wars of Religion, Henry IV of France declares war on Spain. 462 years ago in 1562, France grants religious toleration to the Huguenots in the Edict of Saint-Germain. 500 years ago in 1524, Giovanni di Verrazzano set sail westward from Madeira to find a sea route to the Pacific Ocean. 647 years ago in 1377, Pope Gregory XI reaches Rome after deciding to move the papacy back to Rome from Avignon. 662 years ago in 1362, Saint Marcellus flood kills at least 25,000 people on the shores of the North Sea. 2,062 years ago in the year 39 BC, Octavian divorces his wife Scribonia and marries Livia Drusilla, ending the fragile peace between the Second Triumvirate and Sextus Pompey. So that is all we have for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you found our little trip back through history both relaxing and informative. If you did indeed like the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and also consider leaving a comment below. All feedback is very much welcome. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. It will really help the channel grow and will ensure that you are notified of future videos. Be sure to turn on notifications so that you are notified of future videos as soon as they are posted. Thank you again, and I hope to see you next time.